In its quest to provide an open forum for discussion of controversial issues, this station allows hosts and their guests to express themselves without any significant censorship. You are advised that any view expressed by the host or their guest are not necessarily the views of the owners or management of TogiNet Radio, Togi Entertainment, or the Owners Group, Inc.
Motherhood Incorporated proudly presents Military Mom Talk Radio, live on TogiNet.com. Co-hosted by Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Back, the owner of Motherhood Incorporated. Military Mom Talk Radio is here with a powerful platform for women to discuss their ideas, issues, and concerns with respect to the military lifestyle. Military Mom Talk Radio encourages you to share your experiences of being a military wife and mother. This show is dedicated to educating your family about the resources that are available in both the public and private sector. And we'll be sharing helpful information from women around the world. We'll cover everything military, from helping a family member cope with post-traumatic stress disorder, to navigating government programs dealing with family issues, to the struggles of deployment, along with being a working mother, both in and out of the home. This is Military Mom Talk Radio. And here are your hosts, Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Back.
Hey, Military Moms. This is Sandra Beck, and I am here on Military Mom Talk Radio, and we have a wonderful show today. We have Kara Barrett from Higher Ground, and we have Pam from Operation Gratitude. We've had Operation Gratitude on a few times because of the outstanding work that they do, and I'm so glad that the show started when it started because I just had to mediate a huge juice box fight with my kids, and we only had one high C red fruit punch box left, and 2 kids, 1 box is just chaos over here. So we're going to start this show off. I think I need to start the show off with a drink at this point. Robin, are you there?
I am here. Hi, Sandra.
It's just
I know.
Between the rental cars, just for those of you who don't know, I've been in 4 different rental cars in 1 calendar week. My car's been in the shop. I've been to and from Dallas, and every which way but sideways. My car was repaired. Then we were driving it home on the freeway, me and the kids, and it started to smoke. And when we tried to return the rental car this morning, there was like French fries falling out of the car. I only had this car like 2 days.
But in 2 days.
You talk about war zone.
Yeah. My goodness. But it's a great hour, Sandra. We're here to just relax and enjoy some great people to talk to.
It is. We're going to have some fun today. I mean, I'm so excited because Operation Gratitude really hit a benchmark. And do we have Pam on the line?
Oh. I'm here, indeed. Nice to
Pam,
be with
welcome.
Yay!
Thank you.
3 cheers.
It's like my juice box fight pales in comparison to what Operation Gratitude has achieved last week. Do you want to fill us in and tell us what exciting news you have for today?
Oh, my. I wouldn't even know where to begin. It was so exciting. Saturday, we celebrated our 600,000th package that is going overseas. It was an amazing day. We had probably around 2,000 people, volunteers, at the Army National Guard Armory celebrating. It was a Support the Troops rally. It was incredible, and our 600,000th package rolled off the volunteer assembly line to cheers, and just it is the biggest rally we have ever had over, our 7 years, and it was just phenomenal. Absolutely.
Well, and I got to tell you, when you say the volunteer, what did you call it? The volunteer assembly line. It is truly a volunteer assembly line. Christy, who's my co-host on Motherhood Talk Radio, and I went down to help a couple Saturdays ago. And you have to see these things to believe it. You have hundreds of people standing at tables, and these boxes are not on a conveyor belt. It's not like the I Love Lucy episode where she's trying to stuff chocolates in there.
Right.
You are, well, it kind of is.
Sort of. Yeah, you are going fast.
You are going fast, and it's like you put your item in the box, and there's such great items in there. My item to put in there was a little Constitution pamphlet, and there's reading magazines, there's candy, there's gum, there's grooming aids. I mean, there's movies. These boxes are so much fun.
Yes, they are packed with so many items, and the weight, it's about 7 to 8 pounds, and it's just crammed with everything that they love to receive. But that human assembly line this time wrapped around the building.
Did it really?
With that many people. You can just imagine how crowded it was inside, and it was just the whole feeling was just so up. Everybody was having a great time.
Well, and, Pam, it was so exciting for me, to be invited down to do this. And, from every box stuffing onward, I will be present along with family and friends because it's such a fun time. It's so rewarding. But I got to tell you, the week later, I had at my ranch up here, 150 people at my house for a Big Toys for Tots event. And the Marines in attendance here saw one of the OpGrat, my plastic OpGrat cup. And they were like, Operation Gratitude. And they were like, we love those boxes. And it was so fun to go from the physical assembly and to look at these labels and go, each one of these boxes represents a person, a person in our armed forces serving. And then to go a week later to my party and have the 5 Marines there all talking about how much they loved getting these boxes and what a morale lift it was. And they actually, they got, they're Marines, but they got really excited talking about these packages, and I could see it was kind of like from the beginning to the end result of what you guys do.
Yes, and that's and the letters. When you can jump on the website, we're getting an incredible amount of thank you letters now, and it really does bring it home because they talk about some of the things that they do with the items, and they talk about how appreciative that there are Americans that care for them over there, and it just makes a big difference. The letters are so special to them, and they're disappointed if somebody doesn't put their return information because they say, please get a hold of this person and let them know thank you and so on. So, everything is so special to them, and the letters from the children are just incredible. So, they just enjoy so much receiving so much from home. And it does. Well, it's a morale booster. You're right. It really, especially now during the holidays, when they're getting their packages now, they say, whoa, really feels like Christmas right now.
Well, and, what's funny, too, about, there's, an ancillary benefit of this. My son and I worked really hard. We got his Boy Scout troop involved. We got the local Girl Scout troop involved. We got the local elementary school involved. And, I made these based on your website, which is operationgratitude.com. I followed the protocol of, just dear brave hero, and then let the kids fill in from there. And not only did and my church, Shepherd of the Hills, Pastor Dave will be with us today. They participated in getting letters. I sent probably a package of over 200 handwritten letters from kids to adults. And the thing is it made everybody happy to do this.
Yes.
And it didn't cost anything. That was the best part. It's what is it to pick up a piece of paper and write a letter and brighten somebody's day? And in this market where everybody's scraping for every nickel and all the charities are hurting financially, it's very rare that you can just pick up a pen, write something, and make a huge difference.
Yes, you are so right. Oh, yes. And
are you the one responsible for the social networking over at Operation Gratitude?
It's Ann Hamilton. I believe she was on your show before.
She was.
Yes.
She was. I just wanted to tell you this great thing that happened to me after talking to you guys and knowing you're going to have this 600,000th package. And, my Facebook account, I might have, 500-600 friends. A lot of people I don't even know. They just hook in for whatever reason. But I put a little post up, just a really simple little post of me at Operation Gratitude. And I said how much fun I had and what a great operation it was. And I just put, email me how to get involved. And I can't tell you how many people emailed me, people in my town, people around the country, and they're like, what is that? How can I get involved? How can I help? It was so simple. It didn't cost me anything. And, you know, I'm all about Facebook because I think it's really fun. It's a great way to stay connected, but there's other social networks out there. And if you haven't gone to the Facebook fan page for Operation Gratitude or gone to the website, if you can send an email, you can send a letter to somebody in the troops, and you can actually help spread the word, because I'm finding in my company and in the work that I do for my clients that these little, you know, posts on Facebook are much more powerful than putting an ad in a paper.
Yes. Yes. It has been growing at a phenomenal speed, Facebook, and yes, everything you can think of is on Facebook, and it's been a wonderful means of communicating.
Well, and it's fun.
Yes,
you know, it's
absolutely.
fun. You can see pictures and, you know, and one post I put up, you know, I posted a picture of myself with two veterans, and, you know, and everybody just got such a kick out of it, and they were like, well, where were you? What were you doing? And then when I told them, they were like, oh, can I do that too? Because it is super fun, and if you haven't had the opportunity, whether it's for Operation Gratitude or other organizations in your town, and you can pop on the web and look for some places to volunteer, or ask your church or your temple or, you know, anywhere you go, or your school. The one thing that really makes the holidays beautiful, I think, is the spirit of volunteering.
Yes, definitely.
So when this 600th package went out, do we know who number 600,000 was?
Yes, I don't have the name, but yes, they already had the label ready to go on it, so it was all coordinated beautifully. And that person was receiving, besides a package of all the wonderful things that we normally put in there, the surprise was this person will receive a 2011 Victory Vegas 8-ball. And it's a special gift. The motorcycle came roaring into the armory there, and we have such generous sponsors. So they will receive the key in their package, and when they get back, or however they're going to do that presentation to this person. So it's very special.
We'll have to have you on
A lot of special things. I mean, you know, besides the bike and all kinds of unique gifts and, that are included in there. So,
well, great, Pam. I hate to cut you off. I'd love to have you back, and we're going to talk about when we find that person. You know, if we can have you on with the 8-ball and the key, that would be super fun.
Right.
Check out Operation Gratitude. When we come back after the break, we will be welcoming Kara Barrett from Higher Ground. My name is Sandra Beck. I am the host of Military Mom Talk Radio with Robin Boyd, and we'll catch you after the break.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system, keeping the home fires burning? That's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Tina Gonzalez. And we'll be right back after these. Believe in your fairy tale to make your zing come true.
I love it.
Debbie Glickman and Deanna Cohen know it. Join these soul sisters on TogiNet.com. Believe in your fairy tale to make your zing come true. Showcases two sides. One, to help entrepreneurs showcase their products and tell their story of their happily ever after. And two, to interview people who have realized their own fairy tale and doing something to benefit others. This show is here to help folks who have an idea and want to get it off the ground, as well as to inspire people to make the world a better place by doing something extraordinary or out of the box to help others. Both of these entrepreneurs have their own businesses and websites. With more information on their passions and successes, first for Debbie, fairytalewishesinc.com, and for Deanna, thenextbigzing.com. Believe in your fairy tale to make your zing come true with the Soul Sisters, Debbie Glickman and Deanna Cohen on TogiNet.com. If you're ready for a big change in your work, your career, your happiness, your life, it's time for the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabarka. Monday afternoons at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com. Marla believes that with the right mindset, anything is possible. Join us as successful life coach Marla Tabaka inspires you and her clients to explore, discover, and live your dreams by developing what she calls the $1 Million Mindset. Marla will inspire you to take action on your dreams and reveal secrets to success that will help you realize your own unique power. Tune into the $1 Million Mindset for heartwarming stories with Marla Tabaka. Learn tips and tricks to building a successful business and unlock the secrets to creating a happier, more balanced life through abundant thinking and attraction power. For more information on the $1 Million Mindset, go to our website, marlatabaka.com. That's MarlaTabaka.com. It's the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 1 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front, with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sail at the BX. Now, let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Beck.
Hey, Military Moms. This is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Robin Boyd. Robin, wasn't that exciting?
She is. What an amazing organization. Every time I hear more and more about them, I just have such immense awe. I guess that's the only way to put it. Awe. A-W-E, awe.
Well, and it just started with the vision of one woman.
I know what one woman can do.
It's a good thing. Well, this woman is going to go to jail for killing her children because it's so hard to concentrate with them fighting in the background. Now they're fighting over, I don't know if it's SpongeBob or I just can't. Robin, what are we going to do?
You know, someday you're going to say, boy, I wish those little guys were still fighting in my living room. Someday. It's fun. Like I told you, I remember days that I'd be talking to people in my coat closet trying to muffle out what was going on in the background. So.
Well, I'm like, you know what? The listeners are going to hear me yell at my kids because that's like, what's coming down the pike. But I know what you mean. Like my dad said, one day I was coming in and my dad was here from out of town and I fell over my son's tricycle. I was carrying groceries and I got out of my car. I never even saw it. And I went over the tricycle, the groceries went all over the lawn. I was so mad. And I know he's only 3. He shouldn't be putting his bike away. But, I was so mad. And my dad got this funny look on his face. And he's like, I remember when you kids used to leave your bikes in the driveway. And he wasn't mad. He was all misty and teary-eyed. And I'm trying to pick up the eggs. So maybe in another 50 years I'll get over it.
Oh, I know. It won't take quite 50. But, it somehow you do. And that's part of what we're here. We're always here to share. We're always here. I think we've all been there. So every listener out there kind of knows what it's like to have a kid in tow and what it's like once Mom gets on the phone.
Right. When Mom gets on the phone, all hell breaks loose. Well, we have just an outstanding guest today. Her name is Kara Barrett, and she's with Higher Ground. And I'm going to let Kara introduce herself because I just think that, she's amazing and what they do is amazing. And it's just so much fun. Robin, we get to meet the best people on the show, don't we?
No kidding. Amazing people. And Kara's one of them.
Okay, Kara, are you with us?
I'm here. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm going to ship my kids up to Idaho to you.
Oh, awesome. We'll take them. There's awesome skiing here right now. We'll put them in ski school, and they'll be great.
Is it? You got a lot of snow this time of year?
We did. We just got a really big dump. It was. It's been really good skiing. We're excited. Usually, sometimes this time of year it's a little iffy, but it looks like we're getting a huge storm tonight as well. So we're excited.
Well, that's awesome. So you're located in Idaho. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself personally?
Well, great. My name is, again, Kara Barrett, and I have been with Sun Valley Adaptive Sports, which Higher Ground is a program of ours, and we're a nonprofit organization. I've been in the Valley here in Sun Valley for going on 11 years, and I'm a recreational therapist, and I have a 3-year-old son and just love being in the mountains and doing what I love to do and working with people with disabilities and veterans coming back and showing them all they can still do. So it's great. I love being outside, mountain biking and skiing and running, and there's just it's a wonderful backyard that we have here.
You are. You live in a beautiful, beautiful part of the country. So now, how do you relate to Higher Ground?
As far as my position, I'm the program director. So we've been a nonprofit since 1999, and our Higher Ground program started about 5 years ago, and it's just exploded. It's just grown so much, and we've been able to do more and more camps, which is really exciting for all the just to serve more and more people. So we started out doing one camp a year, and now we're doing 8 camps a year. So so my role basically as the program director is I oversee all the programs within the organization, and we also work with just locals here with disabilities, adults, children, teens. We have Special Olympics program, and just getting people involved in sports and recreation is our mission. So, there's a lot of things to juggle, but we have a great staff. So it's been a really successful with all our programs, especially.
Well, you said you have 8 programs or 8 camps. What?
We have 8, just specifically with Higher Ground, our veterans program. We do 8 camps a year. So we do 3 to 4 in the wintertime, doing skiing, snowboarding, Nordic skiing, and sometimes we go snowmobiling with them, and just getting them outside and just showing them all the different sports that they can do. And then we also do 2 fly fishing camps. We're pretty well-renowned fly fishing here. I mean, people come from all over the country to go trout fishing here. So that's a really fun camp as well. And then we do some water sports up at our alpine lakes in just about an hour north of here, and we do water skiing and wakeboarding, kayaking, rafting, just endless amounts of water sports. And then last year we actually did our first ocean sports camp in La Jolla. So, and that was a huge success. Just doing sailing and surfing and kayaking as well. So it was really fun. That was one of the first programs that we've done outside of Sun Valley, and it was wonderful.
Now, which one was this?
That was an ocean sports camp we did in La Jolla.
That was the one Tina went.
Yeah, Tina was there, and oh my gosh, she was such a ball to be around.
Isn't she so
hilarious?
Fun?
She is so fun, so much energy.
Completely picked on Richard because when he left her out there on the board, we're like, okay, Mr. Marine, you left her out there.
I know, and she was so nervous about the jellyfish, and he just, I think one just floated by, and he was like just trying to get himself back on the kayak, and she was just like, what are you doing?
You abandoned me, you left me.
Yeah.
So now, how did you guys get involved? I mean, I know you're Sun Valley. What's the name of the company, Sun Valley?
We're Sun Valley Adaptive Sports, and that's, we're right in Ketchum, Idaho, and Sun Valley is a ski resort. I mean, right next to Ketchum. It's like a mile away.
So then in Higher Ground is the portion of your organization that serves our soldiers, is that correct?
Exactly, yeah. It's a program of ours and one of our largest programs. So we just, we have a pretty big staff, and but we have three wonderful Higher Ground staff, and that's Sean McEntee is our program manager, Shauna Smith is our therapy coordinator, and then Bert Gillette, who's here with me today, is our veteran outreach coordinator.
Now, how do you, and maybe this is a question for Bill, how would somebody listening today get involved with your organization, not as a volunteer, but, if we've got a wounded warrior, we've got somebody, how does that work?
Definitely. I'm the Veterans Outreach Coordinator for Higher Ground, and so I'm in charge, and it's Bert, just to clarify.
Hi, Bert. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You can call me Bill, too, if you like.
I'll call you a lot of things, but not on the air.
All right. Well, so basically, initially somebody goes online to our website. It's svasp.org, and I can spell that out phonetically for your listeners if that'll make it easier.
That would be great.
Sure. It's www.sierra, Victor, Alpha, Sierra, Papa .org. So short for Sun Valley Adaptive Sports. And they can go there, and there's a button to click on that's for the higher ground, and then there's a little button that says Apply Today, and they can fill out our online application. And then shortly after we receive an online application, we then follow up with a phone call and get some more details of what all injuries and symptoms they're dealing with, and get a better idea of how we can best help them.
Now, and how is this funded?
Well, we have an amazing community of support out here. We have partners like Silver Creek Outfitters and the Sun Valley Company, and the La Jolla Beach and Tennis Club donated a lot for us, and a local company called Stewart Events. And then we just live in a very philanthropic community, and so we have the opportunity to get funding from outside, which is completely private, and that's really nice because it gives us the liberty to do our programming the way we see fit, rather than going on someone else's subscribed agenda.
And I guess the reason I was asking, so the wounded warriors that come up to you guys, they don't have to pay for this?
No, we are one of the few programs out there that we, not only is our program completely free of cost to the veteran, but also to the supporter that they bring with them. And we segregate between couples and singles camps and different types of family members and things like that. And we pay for them to come out and give them every bit of sports and therapeutic work that the veterans get, because we recognize that without that system of support, if that system of support falls apart and the caretakers aren't being taken care of, then the warrior falls apart as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I don't think, a lot of people know about your organization. That's why I'm really happy to have you on our show today, so that we can help spread the word, and you can really, you help a lot of people.
Yeah, we've seen some really amazing 180s in folks' lives after our program. There's, from the smallest detail of the first phone conversation to the end of our 3-year follow-up, there's nothing we don't do for a reason, I'll say that.
That's
we found
great.
A lot of success with our techniques.
Now, I'm going to give that website again for everybody listening today that want to check out Sun Valley Adaptive Sports Program. That's S as in Sam, B as in Victory, A as in Alpha, S as in Sam, B as in Victory, P as in Paul.org. We are here with Sun Valley Adaptive Sports and their outstanding program called Higher Ground, of which Tina was a recipient of their good time. And we're going to come back and we're going to ask them all sorts of different questions about their program and find out how you can get involved, both as a volunteer to donate your time or talents, and also if you and your spouse want to go and take part in one of their programs. My name is Sandra Beck. I'm here on Military Mom Talk Radio with Robin Boyd, and we'll catch you after the break.
Are you a military mom? Looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? That's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Tina Gonzalez. And we'll be right back after these. Everyday Autism Miracles with Shannon Penrod. Friday afternoons at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com. Life after an autism spectrum diagnosis doesn't have to be difficult. It can be joyful, happy, and filled with hope. Join Shannon Penrod, author, speaker, coach, and mom of a 6-year-old recovering from autism, for this inspirational hour of hope. She's even authored a series of children's autism books with her son, Jim. For more information about the books, Shannon, and Everyday Autism Miracles, go to her website, shannonpenrod.com. From there, you can also get to her other websites, blogs, and connections. On Everyday Autism Miracles, you'll hear stories from parents whose children have made miraculous strides. You'll also get the inside dish on therapies, treatments, supplements, and how to get funding to help you afford them. Miracles abound in the autism community, so tune in for Everyday Autism Miracles to listen, share, laugh, and surround yourself with hope. Everyday Autism Miracles with Shannon Penrod. Friday afternoons at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com. Get ready for the Not So Soccer Mom, Tuesday afternoons at 1 Eastern, noon Central on TogiNet with Jill Hickey. You name it, from politics to pop culture to Jill's search for the perfect bronzer and chicken salad. The Not So Soccer Mom will weigh in on it all. The sentence, "I have no opinion about that," is one that Jill has never uttered. In the early 90s, Jill finally decided to put her thoughts, opinions, mom advice, love of pop culture, hummus, and Starbucks, working out, cosmetic shopping, and politics into an actual website, and thus NotSoSoccerMom.com was born. Shortly after her fourth child, a boy, Jerome, now she's really got tons of topics to share with you. This is Laugh Out Loud Funny, and we're not kidding. What's a loud Nebraska girl who lived in Little Rock for many years and now is up in the Northeast doing? Chronicling her opinions on everything. The wheels aren't off yet, but it's close. It's the Not So Soccer Mom with Jill Hickey, Tuesday afternoons at 1 Eastern, noon Central on TogiNet.com.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front, with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now, let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Beck.
Courtesy.
Hey, Military Moms. This is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Robin Boyd, and we have yet another outstanding guest on our show today. Robin, isn't this cool?
This is, boy, I want to go to Idaho.
I want to go to Idaho, too. I mean, I want to go to Idaho anyway, but I want to go and see, like, you know, what it is they do there. And, you know, it just seems so exciting. And so, you know, boy, if you're going to rehab, you know, to go into kayak or ski and swim,
Exactly.
I mean, that's
and that's what's so exciting, is the promise of what they have for everyone who comes there. That's just amazing.
Well, let's turn the microphone over to Bert. And, Bert, why don't you share with us a little bit about your background?
Sure. Well, I guess the biggest part of my background that made me want to work with folks in the military, Army brat of 30-some-odd years now, and we grew up on I grew up on posts all over the country. My dad retired as a medevac pilot after 20 years when I was in high school. And I've been a rec therapist for close to 10 years now. And I always had a passion for working with folks with disabilities, and I've lived in the mountains for, at least 8 years now, mountains all over the country. And when I found out about this position where I could do rec therapy for vets with disabilities in the mountains, I mean, who can pass that up? And so did an interview and packed up my stuff, and less than a week later I was living in Idaho.
Now, what kind of disabilities do you see typically coming through your organization?
Well, our program specifically focuses on folks with traumatic brain injuries, post-traumatic stress disorder, visual impairments. Okay. And then we also have a women's program dealing with more specific issues to women. And so everybody we see has some level of one of those disabilities, and then a lot of folks will have polytrauma issues, so any other injury as well. Okay.
And can you share some success stories? I mean, what can people expect, from your organization? And then I would love for you to walk us through what it's like to go to one of your camps.
Sure thing. I'll talk about a few that come right up off the top of my head. We had one lady out here. She was actually one of the first people I ever spoke to with this job. And when I spoke with her on the phone and did an initial interview, it was actually before we even had a women's program, and it was just kind of a heartbreaker because I didn't know if I was going to be able to serve her or not. But just the unassuredness and the stutter in her voice, and the best analogy I could come up with was that she sounded like a chihuahua in a lightning storm would look.
Oh.
And my heart went out to her so much, and she and I actually stayed in touch over the phone for probably about a year and a half, and we had a women's program, and we were doing our first one, and she was the first person I called right away. And she came out, and just through coming out and being able to be with the other female veterans and being able to find success at a sport that she used to like and find that system of support, Because, we have over 300,000 injured veterans out there, and what I always hear is they all feel alone. Well, there's plenty. You just got to get together and get them in the right environment together to give each other support. And she had a few issues up here when we went snowshoeing, and she had some issues with that, bringing back memories of doing road marches and things along those lines. But she was able to rise above, and she was able to go on ahead and push herself through the activities regardless. And we saw her go from someone who didn't have the confidence that they would be able to get on an airplane and go across the country. She left our program. We got her set up with a Weight Watchers program and got her some running shoes and helped host her for her first marathon that she wanted to run by the time she was 40. She completed her marathon. She's out, started dating again for the first time since her injuries. And she's just a different woman. She's even gone back active duty and was recently promoted to major.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, and if she's listening, she knows who she is. That's a great thing about this job is it's not coming out for a week and then, okay, see you later, bye, we never talk to you again. We get to be involved in everybody's lives for 3 years after they leave. And we have our official follow-ups, but then, I'm kind of at liberty to use my cell phone and call people and just kind of shoot it with them and see how they're doing.
Sure. So now what is it like to go to one of your camps? Like, walk us through from the time, you said you talked to this person on the phone, from the time they talk to you to the time they leave. What are some kind of things that go on?
Sure, and you might have to stop me because I get wordy sometimes.
No, go ahead. We got plenty of time.
Well, initially when somebody calls interested in the program or fills out an application, first and foremost, it's our job to get on the phone with them and make them feel at home and make friends, establish a rapport, because you don't just jump straight into business and start asking people about their injuries and their experiences if they don't feel like they can trust you initially. And then we go through a system where we go through a little questionnaire over the phone and get a little bit more details about who they are, what their injuries are, what their limitations may or may not be. And from there, we get all these applications, and we try to take the applications we have on hand and make the most optimal small group we can, taking into consideration things like, are they married? Are they in a significant long-term relationship? How old are they? Are they officers or enlisted? And without actually knowing people and meeting them face-to-face, we try to put together the best group we can for group dynamics to ensure that these are people that are going to be able to have commonalities and form a bond that lasts after the program is over. And once we've made the selections, we buy them plane tickets, and we harass them probably way too much because I forget to ask all my questions in one phone call. And we just make sure that any hiccups in the get-along are getting taken care of. If somebody can't come out because they have child care issues, we will help support child care and help bring a family member out to watch the kids so that they can have the experience. And
that's amazing. I mean, that's that you really do everything in your power to make it possible for them to come.
Absolutely. I think the biggest barrier to coming out here for a lot of the veterans is they have to be at that point when they're ready to make this step. They have to be at a point in recovery where they're positive, looking forward, and ready to jump on a plane and fly out to the middle of Idaho, because that's a daunting task for a lot of folks.
Well, and especially combined if they've got TBI or PTSD or some other issues, it's daunting for anybody to hop on a plane and go somewhere where they don't know really where they're going. But for somebody that's sustained an injury, or you said in some cases multiple injuries, that's kind of a big deal.
It is a really big deal, and so the biggest thing we do at that point is just try to really establish a true friendship with the folks coming out and do everything we can to make them feel like they're in safe hands. They're not going to get dropped off in an airport and not have anybody there to pick them up and try to have to figure out how to get to the hotel by themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And And then those that we're not able to bring out into a program, if we have an application in, it's visited before every appropriate camp. And so once an application is in, it's in. We don't just take an application, forget about you because you didn't make it to this camp. I mean, there's been people that we've called, invited to like 5 to 8 different camps before we finally found the one that worked for everybody's schedule.
Now, what do people do in these camps?
The first night's always, and is Kara on the line with us?
I'm here.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Kara.
I wanted to give her an opportunity to throw in too.
Yeah.
Kara, would you like to walk us through what people do when they come to one of your camps?
Oh, for sure. Well, Bert talks. They're the ones that first talk to Bert. I mean, he's the one that builds the relationship and really can understand where they're coming from. And so he does the phone assessment and gets an idea of what sports they're interested in, and then he makes the assessment on which camp would best for them to attend. And then once they're here, and which I just wanted to add, that a great point that you brought up is with a lot of the participants with post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury, that is one of the hardest things for them to do is to get on the plane and get here. And we have had several times where participants didn't come because they were all set to go, and then they just got severe anxiety about that. And we're really fortunate now because we work with TSA, and they can help avoid that chaos in the airport and meet them at curbside and get them right through security, where they don't even have to deal with all the lines, and getting the next flight they can be walked through, which is really, really helpful, especially when it's the first maybe trip they've done since their injury. But yeah, once they're here, it's great. We meet them at the airport and just let them know what the plan is, and we get them. We have a pretty small airport that they fly into, and they most of the time stay at the Sun Valley Resort, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. They have an inn and a lodge, and they get to stay there the whole time, and so we bring them to the hotel, and they can get settled in and relax a little bit, and then depending on the sport, if we need to get them fitted, they'll come right in, and after they've relaxed for a few hours, we'll get them fitted so it's not so chaotic in the morning, trying to get fitted, eat breakfast, get on the hill, that kind of thing. But everything's really, it's all spelled out for them. We have like a nice opening dinner where it's just like Bert said, we're a really small setting. We have the same staff and volunteers that are with us the entire week, so it's not like we're bringing new people in, so they're having to retell their stories or anything. And we like to keep it to a really small group, and
so nobody feels overwhelmed either.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, you can just imagine how it feels, for us, but maybe you're going to a new place and you don't have any anxiety or PTSD, and then it's still a day of traveling anyway, even if there's no issues, is exhausting. So we try to make it as smooth as possible. Obviously, there's going to be it's a long day of travel, and they're going to be tired. But yeah, so we don't want to bring them to a crowded restaurant or go to a big event and where it's just really overwhelming for them. So yeah, we are really fortunate with the restaurants and businesses in the area, and they.
You know what, you guys, we're going to go to break. I hear the music in the background. We'll bring you back after the break, and we'll pick up where we left off.
Okay, sounds good.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system, keeping the home fires burning? That's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Tina Gonzalez, and we'll be right back after these. Learn with Me is a show created as much for the host as the audience. Join host Danny Walker Wednesdays at 11, noon Central on TogiNet.com as she invites you to get your boots on and walk through life's triumphs and troubles with her. Come Learn with Me is the beginning of a movement, a community filled with caring people who share information, allowing everyone to participate, gain, and grow. What works? What doesn't? Your host, Danny Walker, is a self-proclaimed student, not expert, and she'll share very candidly passions, perspectives, failures, her family's battle with illness, her restaurant inspirations to keep being single wife, parent, and more, all the while including industry experts, disease survivors, and guests to add to the mix. For more on Dani and her show, go to DaniWalker.com, DANI Walker.com. If you've ever searched high and low to find answers to sickness, disease, and debt, come learn with me, and let's get our questions answered together. Come learn with me with host Dani Walker, Wednesdays at 11, noon Central on TogiNet.com.
People think I've made it. I'm popular. I seem happy all the time. I have great clothes, and I'm involved in everything. But I have questions, doubts, and fears, just like every other teenager. That's why I'm glad for Teen Talk Radio, where it's all about choices.
Join us for Teen Talk Radio with Nicole Odell, Thursday nights at 10, 9 Central on TogiNet.com.
The choices we have to make that can alter the course of our lives. Life is too much pressure if we try to go it alone. I tune in to Teen Talk Radio with Nicole Odell every week to get reminded that I'm not alone. Nicole Odell is an expert on what happens in the lives of teenagers. Join her as she deals with topics like peer pressure, purity, drugs, alcohol, and many other things that might come up along the way. She writes books and speaks to people all over the place, but she says her favorite moments are when she can pull up a chair and chat with teens about what's important to us.
For more information on Nicole and her books, go to NicoleOdell.com. Then join us for Teen Talk Radio with Nicole Odell, Thursday nights at 10, 9 Central on TogiNet.com.
Teen Talk Radio, where it's all about choices.
'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front, with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sail at the BX. Now, let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Beck.
Hi, guys. This is Sandra Beck, and I'm here at Military Mom Talk Radio, and I'm here with Robin Boyd, who, before we get back to Sun Valley Adaptive Sports, and we have an extra special surprise coming at the end, we're going to welcome back Pastor Dave Macer, who's going to do a holiday blessing for all of us for this season. But I want to turn the mic over to Robin to talk about some interesting things that are available on our website today.
Well, on www.militarymomtalkradio.com, I was just able to get a video up that is a video of something that took place this past weekend. My husband was a part of the ceremony. It was placing some wreaths on our Veterans Cemetery here in New Hampshire. So if you go to the website and look over on the VodPod sidebar, you will see the top video that says Wreaths of Remembrance. It was a very moving ceremony, and we were just very proud to be a part of it.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see it. Even I haven't seen it, and it's so exciting.
I know, I just barely got it up. So I wanted to make sure that we directed everybody to get a chance to see it. It's one of those things that, boy, you just sit there and you think about all that families are going through and have gone through, and it's just really moving. So.
Well, and you guys can check that out at Military Mom Talk Radio, just like it sounds, spelled just like it sounds, Military Mom Talk Radio. For those of you who missed the earlier segment of the show or have missed other shows that we've had and want to tune in, you can pick those up at iTunes under Military Mom Talk Radio. You can also go to TogiNet, which is our host station, TOGINET, TogiNet.com, and you can download podcasts of prior shows from there. There's lots of helpful information about PTSD, TBI, along with a lot of different organizations like Higher Ground that we have today, where you can find benefits that you may not be aware of, and it's a really good opportunity for you guys to help your families and to help yourselves, and that's what we're here for, is to provide information. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Bert and to Kara. Is it Kara or Kara?
It's Kara.
It's Kara. Okay, we're not gonna. I'm just blowing names hand over fist. So we've got Bill and Kara. Oh, excuse me. It's Bert and Kara. Today from Sun Valley Adaptive Sports, and they run this outstanding program, of which I have a sticker on my car. I want you to know. Nice. I put your Higher Ground sticker on my minivan. Nice. And it's got only the stickers of me as a single mom, my 2 kids, and then my 4 dogs, and then there's my Higher Ground sticker. And I love it because everybody asks me what it is.
Oh, excellent. That's what we like to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we were talking before the break about what somebody can expect going through one of your camps.
Sure, and I'll take it through a calendar and just touch on a couple of high points on what makes us a little different from a lot of the programs out there. So after everybody lands, it's 6 to 8 veterans and their supporters, and as I said, sometimes it's couples, sometimes it's singles with a family or a good friend supporter. And you go across the country and you come into a room full of strangers, it can be a little awkward. And so we always start off the evening with kind of an introduction and icebreaker, just something fun. We have a little get-to-know-you game that Tina got to play that was a lot of fun. And just something to kind of break the ice and get people talking a little bit. And then from the first night, we really try to establish a sense of unity within the participants that we have out here. And so with the veterans, we have a unit patch that is specific to their particular camp. Just kind of going off that theme of, some of the biggest feedback we hear is the separation anxiety. Nobody with my injuries that understands what I'm going through, no system of support anymore. And so this is your opportunity to have 6 or 8 other guys that know what you're going through, that have been there and done that, to develop that bond with. And so we give out a unit jacket, and then each day as we go through the days, we have a theme of a day, which is how can I take this home and find continued success beyond this week? And so we introduce that at the beginning of each day and then recap it throughout the day. And then again at night, we get the veterans and the caretakers together kind of separately and just kind of go over, process the day so that we're practicing therapeutic recreation, not just recreation. And generally the first day we get up and depending on the sports, if it's surfing, skiing, whatever it is, we get up in the morning, we do stretch and yoga with our good friends Amy and Oliver, who do an incredible job, get warmed up for the day, go out and do the lessons usually until 3 or whenever somebody's done, because not everybody has the same energy level. Some people need to take a little break throughout the day. And then afterwards, we have fantastic dinners. Tara can tell you, if you're coming out here, come hungry, because we feed people very well while they're out here. Really.
Oh, you just said the magic word. You absolutely said the magic word, because I just got back from Dallas, and I took our show producer, Richard Swanson, with us for the Tugging at Christmas party, and Carrie, who's our showrunner out in Texas, made the best food. We stuffed ourselves silly. We ate grits. We ate everything in sight. So if Sun Valley Adaptive Sports, provides a lot of food, we'll be there.
I think Tina and Richard could attest to it as well. If you leave here hungry, it was not because of opportunity wasn't given to have a lot of really good food.
And it's no joke about...
sorry.
I said there's no joke here about the Idaho potatoes. They are...
they're
ridiculous. They're huge.
But, food is a really great icebreaker. It's a really great bonding. It's so fun to sit down. It's funny, I'm on the air a lot, and I'm in a very public position many times. But as a person, I'm pretty shy. And, people who've met me for the first time are always amazed. Oh, you're on the air. Oh, you do this or you do that. And I can't tell you how much better I feel, like with a brownie in my hand.
Sure.
It's just a great thing. And so do people make friendships, when they're here? They're here for a week, or how long are they here?
It's 6 days, including the travel day. And, we find a lot of success with that. We have, some of the folks that were at our ocean sports camp all live in the same region, and they hang out all the time. And we've got our first women's camp from last year setting up a reunion trip for themselves at another resort. And so, it really is a lasting, long-term bond that you make with other veterans, the other supporters, and with our staff, where you got somebody to call when things are tough. You got somebody to help you figure out your VA benefits that they got that you didn't, and things along those lines.
So a big part of this, too, I think, would be not only just the sports aspect of it and the rehab aspect, but also kind of the fellowship and the camaraderie that you guys foster during this time.
Exactly. I would say the sports are really ancillary to what we're really doing out here. the sports are the catalyst that we use to help the vets and their supporters achieve other things in their life.
And so what would you, like, what's the end result? What do you hope, when people leave your program? We have about a minute left until we go to our next guest, which is Pastor David Macer. We're going to talk to him about the power of faith and relevance to healing from injury and illness. But what do you hope that people come away with when they leave Higher Ground?
We hope that they leave with the knowledge that they're capable of doing a lot more than they estimated they could. To steal DSUSA's logo, we're a chapter, so I can do that. To leave with the sense of, if I can do this, I can do anything. To have a system of support and be able to go back home, get out socially, stay active, be healthy, and build their family through sports and recreation with their home community, and just lead a happier, healthier, more confident life.
Well, Bert and Kara, I want to thank you so much for joining us today on Military Mom Talk Radio. I look forward to having you back next year in the new calendar year. Maybe we will come live from your organization. I want to thank you for what you do for our servicemen and women out there. I think you have an outstanding program. Everybody check out Higher Ground. Give me the website one more time before we take it over to Pastor Dave.
It's www.svasp.org. That's www.Sierra Victor Alpha Sierra Papa.org, and you just click on the Higher Ground icon, and it'll take you right through.
That is outstanding. Thanks, you guys, for being here today.
Thanks so much for having us on the show.
You're welcome. So, Pastor Dave, I got a good question for you. They talked about support in their last segment. How can faith play a role in the support of one of our service people who is suffering from an illness or an injury?
The one thing I want to encourage people with is, you have a lot more time spent in eternity than you do spent here on earth. And I know times can get pretty tough here, especially coming back from a war, coming back with a pretty drastic injury. But I just want to encourage them that you're going to spend eternity either in heaven or hell a whole lot longer than you'll spend here on earth. So, God wants to be there with you. He wants to give you His Spirit to give you a sense of peace and strength, and He'll guide you through the hardest times ever. And, if you read through the Psalms, I'm looking at Psalm 61 right now, and you see the psalmist crying out to God as life gets tough. And we all go through our ups and downs, whether injury or emotional hurt or whatever is going on in your life. But God wants to be there for you. He wants us to trust in Him in our darkest hours and in our brightest moments. And He'll never fail you.
And, Pastor, you are also a pastor, but you're also prior military, correct?
Yes, 10 years, United States Air Force, back 83 to 92.
That is outstanding. I'm so happy to have you today, and I'd like to turn the mic over for you and to wish everyone in our sphere of influence, all the guests we've had on this show, and everybody listening there today, a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And, Dave, please close out with a blessing.
Father God, thank you so much for all these people that serve our military. I want to thank you for the guests that have been on here. But, Lord, most of all, I want to thank you for the men and women serving our country. We pray your blessing, your protection upon them, upon their families. And, Lord, you are the only one that can encourage us, can strengthen us in our time of trial. So may each one of us put our faith and our trust in you. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.